My name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I am in one of my very cold, it's about 37 degrees, homes that we just purchased. And it's quite the beauty. It's a three bedroom, one and a half bath, about 1,350 square feet. And got it super duper cheap, but there's nastiness everywhere. Just to give you a heads up, this is the freezer. That's I don't even know how disgusting that is. Anyways, I was thinking today and about things that can block you from being successful. And one of the things that helped, or one of the things that blocked me, and it took me a while to get over, was what my mentor called an overactive mind. If you want to see, that's cigarettes, nastiness, stains, and stuff. Um, Bob Proctor was my mentor, and he was able to talk about a subject that resonated with me and what I would contribute as the main reason that's been a problem to my success my entire life, especially when I was a teenager. I was a angry, disrespectful, and you could even say entitled teenager. My, you know, I just didn't understand why I didn't have friends. I had a couple. Why I didn't fit in. I didn't understand why the world didn't work the way that I saw it. I was very angry about that. And I still had relative success. I graduated with a 3.89 from high school. I went to the Army. Then I went to West Point, New York. Became a computer network engineer, software systems engineer, and that's kind of my W-2 job today until we get enough homes to pay for my retirement. But it took really a great loss in my life, my marriage falling apart, potential of my kids being taken away, for me to be open to change. And he talked about the overactive mind. And inside of our head, there's a conversation that goes on. And I can't speak to anybody else because I don't know what anybody goes on there. I do know that there are other people who have this problem. Now, it's my opinion that the conversation in most people's minds is negative, right? There's you, and then there's this other voice, and it's called the mind, or what I'm going to call the mind. I haven't studied psychology in probably a couple of decades, but you have the id, the ego, and the super ego. I don't want to say it's the super ego is the voice inside your head. For me, it was always you're not good enough. It's always you are a failure. It's always, hey, remember this time when you made a complete fool of yourself? Hey, I want you to think about that for a little while. And um, you'll never amount to anything. Just very, very negative things. And it's frustrating because I knew I could be a better person. I knew I could be more than I was. And it took, like I said, it took opening up to new ideas and having some pretty hurtful and awful things happen in my life before I started to do that. So Bob Proctor, he gave us this challenge, and I was going to do anything that I could. I figured this was my last chance to become the person I could be, or stay a miserable wretch for the rest of my life. And he talked about this book called "As a Man Thinketh." I'll try to link to it in the comment section below. And it was written in the late 1800s, and it was very Victorian, very flowery language. The One of the chapters is called Serenity. And he said, listen, I want you to get a composition notebook, like you had in high school and college, black and white, cost you a quarter. You can probably get them for free if you go talk to some high school kids and stuff. And he goes, I want you to write this chapter. You can't type it. You have to write it with your hands. And then I want you to go ahead and say the words out loud that you just wrote. And I got down to where I could do it in about 20 minutes a day. He goes, do this for 90 days. If you miss a day, start over again. That's a pretty big commitment. And I didn't think this would do anything to me, but I can tell you at the end of the 90 days, there was a profound difference in the way my mind was working. There was a profound difference in the way that I was having a conversation in my head. And it showed me the way. It showed me that there is a way to quiet down the mind. The mind is your inner child saying, the world is unjust. Things should be different. You shouldn't have to work so hard. You should be able to get what you want. People should give you what you want, things like that. And it's not until you can get your mind satisfied that there isn't this great injustice going on that it will actually sit down It'll pick up every once in a while. Something will happen, and you'll see your mind go, "Do I need to get involved?" And you need to sit there and you need to be very conscious of when this is starting to happen. And you need to reassure it, no, things are fine. You don't need to be involved right now. And it'll go back to doing whatever it was doing. And then you can take care of what's going on. Now, I do find that in great stressful times, it'll pop back up, but I know what's going on. I'm aware of it. And I know that if I can't control it or stop it right now, that within a day or so, it'll go back to normal. But by quieting that down, I now no longer have this distraction, and I was able to go and start the process of becoming the person I knew I could always be. Now, I wasn't successful because of the person that I was. Let's just face it. If you were capable of being successful as who you were, you would be successful. You are going to have to become somebody else. You're going to have to leave behind who you are so that you can become who you're supposed to be. And I may dive deeper into that in another chapter or another video. Maybe not. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you live the You Won't Stop Me lifestyle. Go out there and be successful.